What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Lil Ricky, and we're gonna be reacting to top 10 scary events caught on the motherfucking GoPro. Let's get it. We'll get right into it. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe. Shout out to motherfucking Joes for the video. Let's get it.
10. It's unknown if the individual wearing the GoPro in this video is hunting or involved with some sort of wildlife conservation program. The clip starts off with a man untying a moose and removing a mask from its face. He watches as the moose gets up while telling it to move along. Instead, the moose gets ready to charge the man wearing the GoPro.
Come on, little girl. Hey.
The moose then proceeds to stomp him well on the ground. Eventually, the animal lets him go and the man stands back up. The moose still looks ready to charge at any moment. The man proceeds to start throwing objects to get the moose to run away, which eventually works. This man looks shaken up but appears to be alright, which is lucky considering how a moose can easily take someone's life. He's also fortunate that this moose did not have antlers, which are known to cause massive damage to it. He can even survive the blow in the first place. My biggest question is, why was this moose tied up to begin with? The man was clearly trying to release the animal, and I hope he wasn't seriously hurt as a result from the incident. Number 9. A YouTuber named RockMoons90 is doing some hiking.
I already know what's finna happen, bro. Finna get caught lacking. Make sure you hit that like, subscribe if you want to see more reaction from your boy Lil Ricky. I got 3 new songs out on SoundCloud. Same name as my YouTube. Now, what do y'all think is finna happen? Put in the comment section. Cause I already know what's finna happen.
In the Ruta Agua Haze trails in Mexico, the video soon turns into a warning for all hikers that you never know what could happen in the wilderness. A truck soon pulls up in front of him and a masked man exits holding a powerful weapon. It's unknown if this person was alone, but someone must have seen this hiker was holding expensive gear like a tripod and video camera. RockMoons90 is lucky enough that this man doesn't notice the GoPro attached to his clothes, so he has proof that this actually happened. The robber nonchalantly drives off. RockMoons90 is very lucky this person did not take his life, as there would clearly be no witnesses. He reported the incident to authorities, and they told him this is not the first time something like this has happened in the area. Some people in the comments claim this video is staged, but their actions and reactions seem very genuine to me. What do you think about this video? Number 8. A YouTuber named Ben S is low on gas, so he pulls into a nearby station. He always wears a GoPro helmet when riding, and as he is fumbling with the card reader at the pump, it records something that he will have a tough time explaining later.
Gas station, stay active.
Passes by close enough to make Ben react. He turns around only to find nothing. What's really strange to me is how, if you pay close attention, you'll see the shadow disappear before it even makes it all the way across the pump. It's going from left to right normally and only vanishes somewhere in the middle. I know that shadows can sometimes play tricks on you, so I'm not gonna say that this is 100% paranormal. If you have a scientific explanation as to how this could have happened, please share. Until then, I am inclined to take Ben's word that this was a phantom figure. Number 7. A YouTuber called Survival Life tracks a gigantic snake across his local soccer field. I'm guessing that he must have been using a selfie stick to get this up close, but then again, it wouldn't surprise me if his hands and fingers were only inches away when this happened. Eventually, Survival Life backs off and leaves the snake alone, and I'm curious as to what kind of snake this was. I can tell by the tropical tree line that this video was taken somewhere near a jungle, in which case this snake could definitely
knock
be
that shit out,
poisonous.
bro. That shit
Some
kinda
of
scary,
Survival Life's
bro.
fans are saying that this was a cobra, and I just wanted to confirm what type of cobra this was. That way we would know if
It's not a
Survival
cobra.
Life was risking a hospital trip or even his life here.
Garden snake.
Number 6. YouTuber Alexander Rusnov climbs a crane with a GoPro and his friend. This alone is enough to give people anxiety, me included. But what
I
he
kinda
does
like
next is
these,
something I've never seen
but
before.
it
With no
irritates me,
safety equipment whatsoever, Alexander hangs off the crane, only being held up by his 2 arms. He's so confident he won't fall that he even attempts some pull-ups. While I certainly don't suggest anyone attempt something like this, this YouTuber's courage is certainly both amazing and scary. Number 5. A YouTuber named
Yeah,
SE
I wouldn't
Styles
do
is
that,
camping
bro,
in
to
the
be
woods of
honest.
Hinton, Canada, when
I
he
climb
hears the
it,
last
but
thing
I
that
just be on
anyone
the
wants to
fucking
hear
ladder.
just outside of their tent.
Fucking well in the eyes.
A lone wolf's howl pierces through their conversation and renders both SE Styles and his friend silent as night sets in. They soon realize
go
they are
camp and catch
vastly
some
outnumbered. If anyone watching this happens to be an animal wildlife
Sound like a
expert,
husky.
I'd like to know if these wolves were howling because they were aware of the human presence nearby, or if this was for some other reason. Perhaps this was a warning to SE Styles not to come any closer, although I'm sure he and his friend did not need any extra convincing. Number
Get the fuck
4.
outta there.
Jeff Wesley is a paramedic whose YouTube channel gives us a glimpse into the frantic lives of emergency medical service technicians everywhere. Today, he must drive an ambulance full speed into the heavy rains, making his job more difficult than usual. The roads are slick and the driver visibility is very low. Every intersection is a
truck.
serious gamble. Sometimes the roadways grow narrow and give cars a little difficulty pulling over. At one point, some
Man,
local
you could
wildlife
actually
even
make
veers
people
into
swerve
the
in
ambulance's
there.
path at the last minute.
Oh, come on, Doc. Jesus. I missed it. I didn't hit it.
Despite all of this, Jeff
Bro,
Wesley
yo,
gets
they're
to the
not
scene quickly
caring
and is
about
able to
even
provide
fucking
help. I just
truck
want to give a shout
swerving.
out to Jeff Wesley and all of the other EMS
swerving.
workers like him for their courage and service, as this video clearly demonstrates. Number 3. Bob Osborne flies down a bumpy
Oh, man,
mountainous
you would've
road in
smacked it.
Bolivia
I saw that
with
shit
little
actually.
concern for his health or safety. The 7-minute downhill race is filled with large rocks like this one. He navigates the obstacle just in time.
I would do this 100% shit like Hawaii or some shit. I for sure do this, but not in my BMX. I think I did this one time. I just didn't have the 4K.
Look how slow this van is driving. That's the appropriate speed for this road, yet it's quickly passed. Keep in mind this vehicle
Them
could
cars
easily
is
kick a rock
stupid
straight
to
into their
bike
dirt
with,
bike at
bro.
any time and send them to their doom. They eventually
that's
make
not
it to
fucking
the
a
bottom of the
motorcycle.
mountain still in one piece. I just Osborne performs regular maintenance on his bike because this looks like the type of road that could snap a tire clean off at any
Doing that on
Number 2, a YouTuber named This Is Dan Bell has made a name for himself by exploring some of the creepiest abandoned places on Earth. This time he is seeing
wish
what
I
he
had
can
my
find at
GoPro
an
out
abandoned
and
house
some
outside of
shit.
Baltimore City, the former home of the notorious Stephen Craig Johnson to be exact. In 1983, Stephen Craig Johnson brutally ended the life of his child in a fit of delusional rage. The case grew famous all up and down the entire East Coast, and it doesn't look like anyone has lived in the house ever since. As Dan Bell travels deeper inside, you can feel the sadness and despair clinging to every room. Amidst the discarded debris and wreckage, Dan Bell finds a weird handwritten letter in the closet with illustrations of a woman on the front and back. There's a brief paragraph talking about how evil the house is and what can be done to stop it. Some of the handwriting is kind of hard to read, so if anyone wants to type this letter out, I would appreciate
good off
it.
that.
Two things seem kind of sketchy about this letter to me though. First of all, the ink does not look faded enough to be something from the 80s, and the paper does not seem very aged either. I don't think it was penned by anyone in the Johnson family, so maybe someone else snuck inside and placed it here in recent years. Dan Bell is understandably nervous at this point, but he has come this far and there's still an entire second floor left to explore. He eventually finds himself in a stale attic covered with scattered documents and heaps of trash. He's just about to leave when he makes eye contact with something that has been watching him all along. A vulture, the devourer of fallen animals, silently regards him from the floor. Its gaze is calm and expectant, almost prideful in a way. If this really is a wild animal and not staged, then it is almost certainly a bad omen for sure. Rooms are places of high drama where lives are permanently changed every day, while some of